Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to starve, ladies and gentlemen, and you will have to live by the consequences of your actions. Hello, YouTubers. Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another Chicken Little report to try to scare you into buying something that you don't need. I love the comments, ladies and gentlemen. It's taken me a long time to evolve to where comments kind of like bother me, to where now I just laugh them off, because I see some of these comments calling me Chicken Little and things like that. And all you have to do is go back 2 years or go back 3 years. And a lot of the things that I've talked about, food shortages, that you better have them, that the price of things are going to go up increasingly, they've come to pass. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to starve, ladies and gentlemen, and you will have to live by the consequences of your actions. I love my son, right? I love my son. You know, we have a great relationship, and I want him to do very well. And I'm not sure if this is getting a little too personal, but I'm going to go with it. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. But I was talking to my wife this morning while we were having our coffee, and I told her, I said, this is how the conversation started. She says, I entered to win a truck. I guess she went to Sportsman's Warehouse and they had a raffle or something where you can enter to win a new truck. And she was with her friend. And she was actually there to get me some bottles of butane. So since they have a limit on them, maybe once a week or so, I'll go in there and get 4 bottles, and she'll go in there and get 4 bottles. And she just happened to be in town, and she was in there to get 4 bottles of butane so that I can stock up. And her friend asked her, what are you going to do if you win that truck? Are you just going to sell it, or are you going to sell yours? And she says, no, I'm not going to sell mine. I love my truck. And she does. She's had her truck for like 10 plus years now. And she loves that truck, and for good reason. It's a very good truck. And she said, so her friend asked her, so what are you going to do with it? And she said, well, I'll probably give it to Rudy, to me, and then he'll probably take his Suburban, which I love. I love my Suburban. He said he'll probably take that and give it to Victor. And when she said that, I said, no, I can't do that. I said, I can't do that. I said, my plan is to keep my Suburban until little Miss Alaska Prepper, turns of age, and maybe when she starts going to college, so that she can use that as her daily driver. And number one, it's a really old truck, so she won't have to pay that much insurance on it, right? And number two, I know that it's a very safe truck as well. And so my wife said, so you won't give it to Victor? I'm like, no, I can't. I said, I cannot do it. I said, Victor is living his life. I said, there have been so many times where I've just really had a conversation with myself saying, man, should I just go ahead and buy them a pretty good used vehicle? Because right now they just have 2 small cars that are 2-wheel drive. And, obviously last year they got stuck a few times and I had to go and pull them out and stuff. But I'm like, no, Victor already made his decisions in life. He's made his decisions, and he has to act on his own. He has to fend for himself. Because what happens when I'm not here? He has to live by the consequences of his decision. Now, if I was like a multi-millionaire, and trust me, I'm not. Some people think that I'm rich. Well, you should come and see my house. I'm definitely not rich on paper or with money, right? I'm rich in other ways, of course. I said, if I was like a multi-millionaire and I had millions of dollars and I just had a whole bunch of money that I can just, do whatever I wanted to, I says I would buy them a house, I would buy them a car and all that kind of stuff, because I knew that if they made decisions that did not benefit them in the future, I could be there to bail them out. So I would want them to have a really great life, as far as not having to worry about the things that they need to get by. But now they have to make it on their own, because if something happens, I won't be here to look out for them. I won't be here for them if something happens. So they have to figure it out on their own. And although I've struggled with, man, should I just go ahead and empty my savings and, get them a nice little used car or truck or 4-wheel drive? I said, no, I can't do it. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we all have to learn to live with the consequences of our decisions. Right? I'm not saying that Victor's decisions were the wrong ones. They were his decisions. And now he has to live with them. I struggle a lot of times in not getting him this or that. Like that water tank that I got him. He didn't ask for it. He did not ask for that water tank. I just got it I put it together and I said, here, it's yours. I struggle with those things because I want him to have a good life. But you have to live by the consequences of the decisions that you make in life. So now, after saying all that, to those of you that think that maybe I'm a fearmonger, right, or that I'm Chicken Little, because I want to get clicks on YouTube. Trust me, my channel is probably below average when it comes to clicks. All right. And if I really wanted to get a lot of clicks, I definitely would not be doing what I'm doing now. All right. I'm a pretty good comedian, believe it or not. And some of you that have listened to my jokes in the past, I think you would agree that I'm pretty good at telling jokes. All right. And I have cat. I have a cat. I have dogs. I can do funny things with cats and dogs and put it up on YouTube and allow people to veg out on those videos that really don't provide any value to your life, except that maybe it allows you to escape reality for a few minutes. Well, I am in the business here of reality. I am in the business here of trying to alert people, trying to alert not only my countrymen here in the United States of America, but anyone who will listen, that we need to be prepared. And it seems that every single day, ladies and gentlemen, for this last week at least, there's been a new warning. I mean, I just put out a video not too long ago about Miss Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, saying to world leaders that we are going to have starvation in the world. Now, what in the world is the Treasury Secretary, someone who is supposed to handle the finances, talking about starvation? Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because it's right in front of our eyes. It's just that a lot of us can't see it. Why? Because I hate using this word, but I'm going to use it this one time. A lot of us are privileged. I was watching Bear from Bear Nation this morning, and he said most Americans are lazy and complacent, and they won't do what they need to do in order to ensure that they have a secure future. Now, he probably didn't say it exactly word for word. I'm paraphrasing, but he says something like that. And he said that most Americans are going to wait for a handout. Now, if that's you, if you're going to wait for a handout when things get bad, then you will have to live by the consequences of that choice that you made. However, if you want to be informed, if you want to be taught some ways in which you can prepare, if you want to know that there may be a probability that the way in which you get your sustenance in the future could be at risk, then ladies and gentlemen, that is what I'm doing here. I know I've been putting out a lot of videos on food shortage. Why? Because I believe it. I believe that we will face a major food shortage sooner than later. And it's not only me. I've been talking about it for years. But now you see all of the news pundits talk about it as well. Now you see all of the government pundits talk about it as well. I put up a video, man, it must have been a year, more than a year ago, where I put up a clip of a congressman actually asking in Congress, what are we going to do about the impending food shortage that we're going to have? We're going to have a food shortage crisis. They've known about this for years. But now it is realizing itself in real life. And those of you that still can't see it, then God bless you. I honestly and truly do hope that you make it through it. I really do, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that a magic unicorn flies over your area, your city, your town, wherever it is, and poops out tons and tons of rice so that you can just scoop it from the ground and then go and cook it up and eat it so that you won't starve. But if that's what you're waiting for, what do you think that the probabilities of one, a magic unicorn, pooping rice over your city, all right, and spreading out enough rice so that you can just scoop it by the buckets and go cook it? Or what are the probabilities of the government actually being able to feed everyone that needs food? Because they can't even do that now. If you think that the probabilities of those things happening are slim to none, then you need to prepare. And that is why I bring you the news that I bring you. Number one, it's not to scare you, but it is to motivate you to actually look around and see what is happening. You want to read a true story that will scare you? Read the story A Year in Hell. Right? Just look it up, A Year in Hell. You'll be able to find that story. And read that story of true events that happened to a family during the Bosnian War. It only lasted a year, but many people perished, many people starved, and many people turned into animals because they had no food. So if you think that what I'm telling you has no value, you have a couple of options. Number one, you can continue to watch it because you think I'm funny looking and I'm entertaining. Thank you very much for clicking on the video and helping out the channel, because every click matters. Or number two, you can listen to the information that I'm putting out, and then you can do your own research and see if what I am putting out has any validity to it at all. And if you think that it does, and then you convince yourself that, hey, maybe this old kook on YouTube, maybe he's got a little bit of a point. Maybe he's bringing up something that maybe does make a little bit of sense. Then go ahead and start your journey to being better prepared. Because ladies and gentlemen, I'll stand by what I'm saying. I've said it before. We will need our preps. We will need our preps. Depending on what part of the world or what part of your country you live in, some may need it more than most. All right? Or some may need it more than others. All right? But we will need our preps. So if you're not preparing and you're just watching to get some kind of entertainment value out of this, then God bless you.